Hey, Canadian wine lovers, we're live and we've got like many, many glasses of Gamay in front of us. And we're going to be chatting about one of the most exciting features we've done this year with scores as high as 96 plus points and from Nova Scotia of all places. So stay tuned.
Canadian Landowners, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country, from Victoria to Nova Scotia, welcome, welcome. It's Wednesday, it's 5 p.m. Pacific. That's mean it's time to sit back, relax, crack a good bottle of Canadian wines, and join us because we have so many great things to talk about. We're going to talk about B&B, so Benjamin Bridge, one of our highest rated feature. We're going to talk about Gamays. We're going to talk about next week, which is another very anticipated feature. And we're going to be on the road again, Mira and I, next week for an incredible event. So a lot to unfold, a lot to talk about. Mira, how are you doing?
Pretty great, Carl Boucher. Pretty great because when you have 9 Bachelders in front of you, doesn't matter what they are, it's going to be a great evening. But especially when they're like his brand new releases, we're very excited to taste. And teaser, they're coming to Carl's Wine Club probably early next week.
Not probably. They will. So we have the Gamay open tonight. The Shards and the Pinots are on the way, and we're going to make our final selection over the weekend. But get ready, and tonight you are going to be part of the thought process on the Gamays because we're going to taste them live for the first time ever with you. So you're going to see how everything unfold. Which one we have? I have my scoring sheet here, and yeah, all the glass are numbered from 1 to 7. Unfortunately, the Village Gamay, it's not in here. The everything I have here, it's the single vineyards, but yeah, the Village Gamay, I have to say, will be in the feature no matter what. Is in the box with 5 Chardonnays and 6 Chardonnays and 5 Pinot Noir. So yeah, really exciting.
Right.
So
And
yeah, how was your week?
I can already tell you, I'm very excited to just get to these very soon. My week is good. Yeah. So, always good when it's Wine Wednesday. And oh, look at this. Leslie's on. Hey, Leslie. And Jeff and Stacy have 2018 Eyefeller Chard in their glasses tonight. I guess it's a Chardonnay night for you guys because I also see Daryl has Keyless 2020 Chardonnay. So looking good, you guys. And what are we doing in Toronto next week, by the way? Because we're probably going to be. What is this sound coming from?
What do you say, Mira? Just because your volume is not really high. I can't hear you very loud.
Okay, I fixed it. I think there was a problem here. Anyways, what are we doing next week? Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing next week in Toronto? We are going to go to the One Drop Foundation auction at the Vintage Conservatory. So if you don't live in Toronto, you might not know that they have like 4 locations now of this thing called the Vintage Conservatory,
We have
which is
4 now.
3, I don't know, a
Oh
lot.
my God! I know they have
Club.
2 for sure, but oh yeah, wow.
It's like a speakeasy of a wine club. Some of you guys joined us the last time we were there. This time it's at that, so it's like a private wine club. You can store your wines there and it's open 24/7 with a pass key, kind of like having a gym membership but for wine. Anyway, we're going to be there because they are hosting the One Drop Foundation's fundraiser, and there's a very fancy lunch and a very fancy dinner. And we're going to be pouring 4 different Canadian wines amongst the other amazing international wines. So we're there to represent Canada
Oh, we're there
amongst
to
these
represent BC, actually,
BC especially.
because the Ontario winery will be representing itself. Dobbin Estate Winery will be pouring their wine. That's the only Niagara or Eastern Canada winery, and the organizer of the event, so Marc Nadeau, a good friend at l'Académie du Vin, who's supplying all of these incredible international wines for this wonderful event. We had the privilege to be there in Las Vegas for their biggest fundraiser of the year back in March, which was an incredible experience to be there, where we were pouring De Silva and also Dobbin. So I had the Nobrezza 2019 and Dobbin Estate 2019 Chardonnay while we were in Las Vegas. And when Mark and his team were planning the Toronto One Drop event, we came up with the idea to have a BC, a British Columbia table where we would feature 4 different wines from the Okanagan and the Similkameen, and tell you it was not too hard to find 4 partners to pour their wines to this incredible event. We're expecting 250 collectors who are going to be at the walk-around tasting Wednesday afternoon at the Vintage Conservatory on King Street in Toronto. And our BC wineries we're going to pour the wine with is some of our very favorites. So Black Market Wine Company, and with the privilege to have Rob Hammersley, the owner and winemaker, joining us live in Toronto. So Rob is going to pour his Zotomir Merlot 2022 to the tasting, and we also have Painted Rock with the 2021 Red Icon, Clos du Soleil Signature, and the 2020 Da Silva Legado Pinot Noir. So Mira and I are gonna pour these amazing 4 BC wine, while Nathan Dobbin and Anne Sperling are gonna pour a selection of their wine at Dobbin Estate. So it's going to be an incredible afternoon. We have donated a prize at the auction, which is a weekend or a couple of days of touring in the Okanagan with Carl and Mira. And yeah, it's going to be an incredible, like a lot of fun to be chatting Canadian wines with international wine collectors. So yeah, it'll be fun, eh?
Pretty fun. Daryl loves the dinner wines, and I think I know why. There's some DRC in there,
Yeah,
Pinot Noir,
yeah.
and for the dinner wines. There's yeah, it's fun looking at the Burgundian wines, because now we've been to a lot of those places. So we've driven by Bouchard Père et Fils. You know, we've driven by Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, and so it's just kind of
Well,
fun
it's
to see
funny
them when
because
they're
with Bouchard Père et Fils, I remember back in my day in the restaurant business, I used to build a vertical of the l'Enfant Jésus, Domaine le Clos de l'Enfant Jésus, which is a monopole from Bouchard Père et Fils. And they have a couple different old vintage of that we used to call it in Calgary the baby Jesus wine. And yeah, there's a few of l'Enfant Jésus in the monopole in that lineup too. So I might have a chance to re-up my senses and see if I can recognize some of these beautiful wine that I used to order back in the day when I didn't have to pay for these wines. Yeah, incredible
sniff them
lineup
all
for the
day.
dinner and lunch, but also there are going to be some beautiful wines during the walk around tasting. And that takes me back to the experience in Las Vegas where I was pouring the Nobreza 2019 Nobreza from Da Silva, and I had many people who were coming to ask about, like, they had Opus One with the 2016 vintage, and people were confused. They couldn't believe that our 2019 from Canada was at the same level, or it was like for sales at 125 Canadian dollars, alongside the Opus One at $500 US. So that was quite of an experience, and how the Dobbin Chardonnay stole the show to the Burgundian Chardonnay. So I can't wait to pour these big boys, BC and Okanagan and Similkameen. So because we're gonna have so many different terroir open, the Similkameen terroir with the signature. We're going to have the Skaha bench with painted rock, some Caledon Merlot, some Naramata bench Pinot Noir. So like the diversity of wine and terroir that we're opening, it's quite interesting and super exciting.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. So if you're around Toronto next Wednesday, you're welcome to join us. They still have spots for the walk around tasting, and maybe like a couple left for the lunch or the dinner. Those are the really high ticket. So you got to splurge, but it's also a donation. So a big chunk of that is a charitable tax receipt. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So this week, we had the grand pleasure of featuring Benjamin Bridge from Nova Scotia. Here is the winemaker himself. We hosted Jean Benoit last week live for a quick interview. We've seen him before because he's come to the Pan Canadian Masterclass in person, and he's done interviews for us. Like, for instance, last year during our Advent calendar, one of his really small batch releases, which is back this week, the non-vintage reserve, was the first wine of our Advent calendar, wasn't it?
It was. And you remember, Mira, how much flack I got from our members that I was stingy on point, and that wine was like underrated and underscored. This
Yeah,
was the two
yeah.
nights that we spent wrapping bottles. It was so much fun. I remember doing but yeah,
Yeah. So,
I mean,
mhm.
a lot of fun we had wrapping it, but we started with the bang with the Benjamin Bridge, and not this one though. I believe this
No,
was,
no,
but
this was
yeah,
the non-vintage. Yeah.
and
That
but
fruit is what we served at the Pan Canadian 2 years ago. So
2 years ago, yeah, that was the first time that we had one of the Benjamin Bridge. But since then, we have the privilege to develop such an incredible relationship with the team at Benjamin Bridge, and especially Jean-Benoit Delaurier, which has been so generous of his time and its knowledge. And so yeah, fun. It's fun because, and the thing is, when you build these kind of relationship with the team, you can beg them to get you some wines that are not anywhere available. That is the coolest thing. And when Jean Benoit sent me a lineup with these incredible rare wines who have never been, like, some of them have never been available to the public, never been on any shelf, not even at Benjamin Bridge tasting room. So it's really, really cool. And guess what? Still, till today, none of the wine that I tasted this year had topped the 2008 Brut Reserve. We have the Bachelder coming in next week, and I taste them all already with Thomas at the Bat Cave in August, unless one of these, I would say, these Gamays,
you didn't taste the
or
Gamays, you just tasted the Chardonnays and the
I
Pinots,
taste the
right?
Shards and the Pinots at the Bat Cave. That was enough because I think we tasted like 29 wines. No, more than
Yeah, you
that.
were supposed to be there for 2 hours, and you were
No,
there
we
for
tasted
4.
35 wines that afternoon. So yeah, I know.
And then here's the crazy part and the madness. after that to get to our wine of the year event after that, Carl lost his notebook with all his
Thanks for
notes
reminding me. I with
from the
tasting
4
notes and score
hours
for 40 wines. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know.
of tasting. Yeah.
Epic, absolutely epic. But that day, I believe that I
Not that you ever
tasted.
need an excuse to taste 40 wines again, but that's a good excuse. He lost my
Yeah,
notebook.
exactly right. And but that day, I believe that I tasted close to 75 wines.
Yeah, between that and the winery
Variety of
of
the
the
year,
year
plus what we
event,
did in the morning, and I mean, yeah, incredible,
amazing.
right? So yeah, so we're working on Bachelder, but I would like to recap a little bit what we've done last week because we are on an incredible stretch of super highly rated wineries. We just come off Tightrope, which was my highest rated wineries of the year. Like these wines were so high score
From BC.
from BC. Now
Yeah.
jumping in the Nova Scotia, super big dog, let's call it that way, and 96 plus and 95 and 93 and 93. Like, I mean, like these scores are incredible. So this 3-pack here, I think it's worth spending a couple minutes to talk about it because none of these 3 wines I've been on the market for the public to purchase. These wines are
Yeah.
so rare. And I was doing some research this week about the 2008 Brut Reserve, and I came on to some information that in 2015, Benjamin Bridge did a official release of that wine in 2015. And Wine Line, 2 of the reviewer at Wine Line, I think it was Michael Goodall and John Zabel, both rated that wine on release at 95 points. And also Dr. Jamie Good from England was also part of that press release, rated that wine 94 points. And they all mentioned in these old article that this wine was the closest from a high-end champagne, and this wine will just get better with time. And here we go. Mira and I had the privilege to taste that wine 10 years after they rated 94 and 95 points. And just like they mentioned, yes, this wine got better. And like I remember, and I don't think I will ever forget that moment when I opened that bottle by mistake on the patio. I thought I was opening the 2018, and the first sip of that wine, I remember I had some Benjamin Bridge, and I also had some the winery from Vancouver Island, some goose blue grouse. There you go.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was something not only special, but something that I very rarely experience. And the wine was in my mouth, and I'm like, something is happening here that I cannot really describe. Mira and I sip on that bottle for 3 to 4 days, and every single time we were pouring a splash, it was all moment. Every single time. And I have to tell you, this wine is in my top 5 Canadian wine that I've ever tasted. This is the Pearl Morissette Cuvée 19e at its peak. This is the, I would say, the D'Angelo port style wine. Like these moments that you can't forget. Like Fred wine, the Bolero Reserve was what the fuck is that? Because the expectation was like not too much. Like, I mean, Fred was planning to sell that wine $35, right? And like, there's some specific moment that I remember clearly. The taste gets back in my mouth and like the moment. But that 2008 is clearly my top wine of the year. And you'll see, I have with Bachelder coming up next week, the Wismer Foxcroft. It's my highest rated of the whole lineup that I tasted. It didn't cap 96 plus. The Wismer Wingfield that we poured at the Burgundy, tasting at the Burgundy Canada Showdown, that doesn't cap 96 plus. So this wine is extremely special. Extremely special.
Hey, I gotta say a quick shout out. I see Diane Brown is on, and I heard it was her birthday yesterday. So happy birthday. I hope I got that right. I just saw it, like I saw your note that you got a lightning rock bubbly the other day for your birthday. So happy belated birthday. All three of those wines are 2008. No, so the 2008 Brut Reserve is in the middle there. That's the 97 or 96 plus point. The 93 pointer is a non-vintage reserve, an exclusive release, and the 95 pointer is a 2020 Blanc de Noir.
So
So I
yeah,
don't
so
know.
let's get. Oh, sorry, Mira, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if the 2020 was anywhere near as stellar and warm and amazing as Niagara in Nova Scotia, but that 2020 Blanc de Noir is really something, isn't it?
Yes, it is something like, and that's why we had that conversation. I had that conversation specifically with Jean Benoit, and Jean Benoit reminded me that yes, I was absolutely bang on that the 2020 vintage in Nova Scotia was also a stunning, warm and dry vintage, which helped created that incredible depth and complexity of the Blanc de Noir. If it was a Blanc de Blanc, the Blanc de Blanc, which is 100% Chardonnay, would have been maybe a little bit too warm to make a spectacular Blanc de Blanc, but because they made a special cuvée with the Blanc de Noir, specifically because the vintage provided that opportunity with the 100% Pinot Noir, and it gives that richness and texture that is completely off the chart. And I mean, 95 points bubbly, 95 points sparkling traditional method. It's not every day that you get that score like that. And I mean, you go with the 08, which now is really so very, very on point in terms of aging. We're what, 17 years of age in that wine, the 2008, now priming as ever. The vintage of 2008 was very cold. So when that wine came out after 5 or 6 years on lease, the wine was austere. The wine was pushing you away. And Jean Benoit had to put it back in the cave for a couple more years because this wine, as he mentioned to me, he was not ready. It needed more time, but 17 years later, absolutely shine. When we go to the 2020 Blanc de Noir, now that wine, I mean, I mentioned it in my note. In 5 to 7 years, this wine will be incredible. But even right now, which was just released, but only released for Carl's Wine Club members, you can feel that warm vintage, the richness, the power, the complexity of that wine.
Makes it more approachable early on.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then sometimes you wonder because sometimes those ones that are approachable early on might not last 17 years like this 2008 did.
You are 100% right, Mira. And the other one, it's the non-vintage. Which one is it in the 3-pack? Sorry if you remind me.
Vintage Reserve. That's the first wine we tasted in the Advent calendar last year.
Yes.
Reserve. There's actually no official picture of it. That's actually a slightly different wine. It looks a lot like that, but just because it's so tiny batch that they didn't even take pictures of it. But that's what it looks like right there. Non-vintage reserve. And there's literally about 18 bottles of that left.
Yeah. This one was made exclusively for the top tier of the Benjamin Bridge Wine Club. And there's in the base wine, there's wine all the way back to 2002 vintage. So in 2008, the one of the Brut Reserve has a good chunk of wine in there as well, which also as a lot of 2017 wine. So 02, 08, and 17 are the three vintages who come. There's more of that, but the three main vintage in that non-vintage reserve. 6 years on lease. That wine has everything from a non-vintage, round, complex, but also texture. The mousse is just so soft and creamy. The salinity of that wine. This is the Bait Fundy in a nutshell. This is Nova Scotia, and when you put that on the grand stage, it's just so unique and so special that it goes like head to head with some of the best champagnes, and you're like, holy shit, this wine has something that the champagne doesn't have. And it's that salinity, that oyster shell of the Bait Fundy that champagne doesn't have. They have some flinty, they have the chalkiness, they have like everything classic that champagne can be proud of. But they're not ocean, like right on the ocean with that incredible salinity. And these wines are something unique. So three wines that you can't find anywhere: a non-vintage, a 2020, and a 2008. This is our super rare 3-pack that we've put together. And there's also another 6 wines available in that, which includes a Blanc de Noir, a Blanc de Blanc from the 2017 vintage, which is not available anywhere either. A 2018 sparkling rosé, which is traditional method with Pinot Meunier, Pinot Blanc, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Chardonnay. Also 93 points. Incredible flintiness, by the way, on that rosé sparkling, like wonderful pinpoint tension, also energy in that, a little bit of like berries mixed with toastiness and lemon. Oh my God, it's incredible. And if you like zippy and zingy, you got it with the Blanc de Blanc from that 2017 vintage. And this wine, you can put it in your cellar for 15 years and you'll see the power of aging, and when it's time to traditional method sparkling, and the potential of the Nova Scotia aging potential. So also the classic Nova 7, which is a wine that's been sold in every single province and territory in the country. Which is pretty cool. And the Wild Rock Rosé and the Wild Rock White. So this is Benjamin Bridge, guys. This is Nova Scotia. And when you do something like what we do, featuring Canadian wine from across the country, when you get to something like that, you're like, oh my God, this is really special and very unique. And so glad and so grateful that Jean-Benoit and his team allows us to showcase that to our members.
Absolutely. So exciting. So now that you
by
know
the way,
about
there's also one thing, Mira.
what?
Holiday season is right around the corner, right?
This is true. This is true.
Holiday season is right around the corner. It's Christmas and New Year's. Then what do you pop usually at Christmas, or especially at New Year's? It's a bottle of Bubbly. I don't know if you're planning to do that this year, but if you want the best of the best, or something like even of the entry level one, right? These Bubblies are fun. Instead of buying Prosecco or Cava or any of the champagne, how about you stick an 80 in and you pop an incredible Nova Scotia bottle? I think the opportunity is right there. It's November. The wine's going to get to you before the end of November. So, great opportunity to stock up on amazing Bubbly for Christmas season.
Absolutely. And those 3 exclusive releases that are super highly rated, these are the kinds of wines that can go side by side any champagne. So super fun thing. If you're planning on opening some real champagne this holiday, throw one of these into the mix on a blind tasting with your guests and see who can guess where this one comes from. I bet they'll never guess Nova Scotia. And I bet they'll be impressed that it can go toe to toe with a wine like 3-4 times its price, right?
I mean, Mira, back in my day with when I had the consulting company and when I was doing some of the top wine lists in Canada as a wine director, I tasted Krug, like the high end of Veuve Clicquot, right? Like Grand Dame, the Bollinger, the Taittinger, the Pommery, all of these were like Laurent Perrier, Perrier Jouet. I mean, name it. Like all of these producer, I tasted their top cuvee. The 2020, the 2020 Blanc de Noir, the 2008 Brut, that non-vintage. These wines can compete with these wines anytime. At like blind taste, I challenge anyone to put a 2008 Brut Reserve in between La Grande Dame of Veuve Clicquot and Cristal Roederer. I challenge anyone to do that. And for a fraction of the price, I'm telling you, they not only are right at the same level, but just like Tony Aspler noted 4 or 5 years ago, they can be on top because that 08 Reserve Brut came on top on the blind tasting with Tony Aspler alongside Cristal Roederer. So, so that tells you.
There
That
you
tells
go.
you. And I don't know if you can tell me, Mira, you're the best researchers on the face of planet Earth. If you can tell me the price of Cristal Roederer last release, they're probably releasing their 2019 right now, probably. Can you tell me the price on release?
So Roederer Champagne. Let's see. So in Canada, it seems like it's going anywhere between $300 and $600.
Yeah, yeah. So interesting enough.
450, $695 for their Cristal Brut Champagne.
Yeah. And so at 110, I mean, it seems like a screaming deal to me.
Yeah, I think so. Cristal, that's only for the back room. So it sounds like Tracy, Jim, Daryl, Sandy are all awaiting their delivery day. I think, Daryl, you have a very unique advantage here because your wife makes the best macarons and madeleines on the planet. And so those go well with bubbly, last I checked. So
Mira, I have a secret for you. Everything goes well with bubbly.
that is a good secret. That's so
Everything
true,
goes
isn't
well with bubbly.
it?
Oysters, seafood, crab cake,
Yes.
pastry,
Yes.
charcuterie, cheese. I mean, name it. Everything goes well with
We
bubbly.
had some raspberry truffles from Burgundy the other day. They also went well with bubbly. Yeah, that's true. Yannick has a 21 de Silva Pinot Noir in his glass tonight. That is awesome, Yannick. That sounds very delicious as well. Um, what Benjamin Bridge was featured at the 2025 Pan Canadian? That was a different one.
That was the Elevage non-vintage. So
Yeah,
that
and
was a
it's not in
small
the mix.
batch of a different wine. They make so many small little thing like that. That was Elevage.
Yeah, so it looks very much like the label on the non-vintage, I think, right? Or no, it's a
It
different one.
does. It does. So that's what they do here. So look, the very small batch wine they do, they put them. So this is the Blanc de Noir. Okay. So it's a handwritten.
It's literally handwritten, and they also write in the alcohol percentage. So literally, someone sits there for a few
Yeah.
hours and writes these out because they're so small
And
quantities.
this one is the non-vintage, right? So they have the same
That's the
label. So
93 pointer.
the one we had at the Pan Canadian was the Elevage. Elevage means that they spend more time on lees, probably. and they spend more time in oak barrel as well. So, Jeff, if you're looking for something with a similar style, I would say from all of that, Elevage is probably the non-vintage reserve that will get a little bit closer to what you got at the Pan Canadian 2025 at Sue-Ann Staff. So
There you go.
I was planning to do just a quick little recap of Benjamin Bridge, and here we are 45 minutes later.
Well, here's the thing. I've already tasted all these Gamays, pretty much, almost.
Did
And they're
you?
all spectacular. I have some favorites already, so you better get going. Let's
Tell me
see
which
what you think.
one of your favorites so far?
Mushrooms from Burgundy go with Bubbly. Haha, thanks. Well, yeah, pretty much everything goes with Bubbly, but I think if you're gonna have those mushrooms in a risotto, you
Yeah,
could go with the
I
Bubbly.
mentioned risotto in one of my tasting, on one of my pairing. I believe it's with the 2020 Blanc de Noir. I mentioned risotto with that.
And
So,
Daryl's saying that because he might have gotten the mushrooms we sent him from Burgundy.
maybe,
He
maybe.
literally sent some dried mushrooms from Burgundy. Um, Karen, yes, you should stop. Like, seriously, if you can come down here, we have 9 Bachelder Gamays open. We just opened them before this live, so it's not like they've been sitting open for a long time either. We would love to see you. That would be fun. Yeah, so 9 Bachelor Gamays. 8 of them are here. 7 of them? How many? We have 7 here, I think.
Seven.
7. And he made 8 this release?
Right?
He made 8 this release or what?
So I think there's 9. So the problem is one of the Kirby. I think they do 2 different cluster. So what?
That vineyard?
So just one second. I will show you something here. Just like with the Wismer Foxcroft, okay? So they have the whole cluster at 32% here, okay, which was Wismer Foxcroft, and you have Wismer Foxcroft 100% destemmed. So that's mean that either he put 32% of old bunch in the press with the stem and everything, or he goes 100%. So with Kirby, I got the 45% whole cluster and another bottle of 45% old cluster. So I believe that he does 2 different cluster press for Kirby Vineyard. And when he packed me the box of Gamay, Thomas just tasted 40 wines with me. And maybe he didn't spit as well as I did. And he got me 2 bottles of the same wine. And Mira, because you are the very best researchist on the face of planet Earth, can you go on Thomas's Gamay release of 2023 and tell me if there's 2 different Kirby vineyards?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a sec.
Because I think that's where the mistake is. And I know I don't have Village because he gave me only the single vineyard when I visited with him. And Village is coming with the Chards and the Pinots.
Right. So, while I'm researching that on the Kirby ones for the Gamays, can you tell us, for those that don't know, why are there so many Gamays from Thomas Bachelder? And if you don't know, he also makes Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And I think this year he released like 1 Pinot Blanc or something like that. Am I right?
You are correct. And it's already sold out. There was only 22 cases of the Pinot Blanc. I had the chance to taste it with him.
Really?
And the Pinot Blanc sold out on release at La Toussaint release on the 1st on Saturday. So why Thomas has so many single vineyard? It's a very, very good question, Mira. And Thomas took on, with his French background, Thomas learned winemaking in Burgundy, and he learned the true definition of terroir. And what a specific plot of land can produce, sometimes with the next plot right next to it, 25-meter next to it, will produce a completely different fruit. Grapes with different typicity, and it doesn't matter how close it can be. Often it provides you with very distinctive details and difference. So Thomas, after his long experience in Burgundy and Oregon, came back to Niagara and noticed that Niagara would need to define its terroir better if they want to become a world-class wine region. And him, at the very beginning, with a few others, really started to remap the Niagara terroir, starting from Niagara on the Lake and the St. David's Bench, all the way down to the Lincoln Lakeshore appellation. He started to test and taste grapes from different growers and really started to map all of these sub-appellation and specific single vineyard, single plot, and sometimes single block from each and every, from some of these specific vineyard. Example of that, it's the Grimsby Hillside Vineyard, where he has the Frontier Block and the Red Clay Barn, 2 blocks side by side, providing completely different delivery from the very same vineyard in the same appellation. I mean, here in our 7 Gamays that we have today, we have 3 from Niagara, from the 4 Mile Creek appellation, and these 3 wines are maybe from 1 mile apart, these 3, and they're tasting all very different. If you were part of our 2024 Winery of the Year celebration, we did a vineyard tour with Thomas Bachelder. If you were with us tasting the trilogy of Wild West and Hank and Saunders, where we were right there in the vineyard, these 3 vineyards were like 10 meters apart, right? We were sitting in the middle of them. One, it's across the road. And when we talk about the road, I'm not talking about a highway. I'm talking about a 3 meters wide dirt road. Exactly, right? One in front of me, one behind me, and the other one right, like the Wild West hand, like 5 meter on the right. These 3 wines tasted completely different, right? So this is terroir, and that's why Thomas, since 2009, has been mapping Niagara terroir at a very high level. Now, this year, it's going to be the last year, and it's a big news here. I will announce it before, maybe like if you haven't read from Rick Van Sickle at his great work that he's doing, or with Christopher Waters, or any of the journalists who were present at Thomas' official release on the first. And by the way, this is pretty cool that I had to taste all of these wines a month and a half before all of the national press. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And Mira, you had a hard
say anything to anyone, and good thing he lost his notebook.
Yeah, fuck.
But this guy remembers things very well, so we're lucky that way.
Yeah, I do.
Cool. So what's the big news that if we?
Well, the big news is Thomas will start now. That Thomas, he feels like he had accomplished his work of mapping Niagara at a very high level. Just 1 second here. Bugs me here. There you go. So starting next year, he's going to start reducing his portfolio a little bit. He's going to start working with what he believes it's the best of the best. He has been working with so many different little plots over the year that now he's like, okay, he wants to focus with certain specific things that I won't say exactly what it is, but you can understand that. I mean, Foxcroft is there to stay. And Wingfield is there to stay. And like, I mean, there's some plot of lands who are so classic to his portfolio that are there to stay. Some of the one that there was some test over the years. Now he's going to start focusing on very specific things. I'm planning to be with him on Tuesday morning. We're going to do a little recording, and you might touch on this point and explain a little bit. And we're going to put that video on next Wednesday during the live. So yeah, that will be interesting to see his answer for that. But he was telling, that's what he told me in August when I sat down with him and we tasted these 40 wines, just him and I. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about that.
Very cool. It'll be great because next Wednesday we're going to be at the La Cuvée tasting, the One Drop Foundation event. So we'll probably go live from there very briefly, and then we'll flash to the Bat Cave meeting with Thomas Bachelder. That'll be a little bit pre-recorded for that reason, but also because Thomas, and I don't know if we're going to see him on Tuesday, Carl, because we might have to see him on Sunday. Because leaving.
Anyway, I was texting with him, and if we're there early, yeah, maybe on Sunday. But I was texting with him this morning, and
yeah. So if you need some help there, Carl, with tasting these on Tuesday, Daryl is free. You could maybe arrange a work meeting right nearby. I don't know, but I thought that Thomas is leaving on Tuesday, so we will see. But all right, so you asked me to research this to you, and then you have to tell me which one is which, because Carl has given me numbers on all these glorious wines. If I do one more quick sniff, I can tell you what my favorites are, and then we'll go from there. But you asked me to tell you if he has one or two Kirby Gamays, and I do believe it's two.
Yeah, well, that's it exactly. And he gave me two of the same.
Yeah, so I see a 23 Little Kirby, he calls it Little Kirby, 53% whole cluster Parcelle Est, and then 2023 Kirby Gamay Noir, 45% whole cluster.
That's the one that we have. That's the one that we have.
So it sounds like he tried to see like the eastern parcel is a little bit different. He calls it Little Kirby versus Kirby. So now it makes so much sense. He's almost like plotted out the land with us over the last however many years. Daryl will carry your notebook this time, Carl, so we don't lose it. Very good, very good. Mike's available too. So yeah, I think we need to have many helpers around Carl. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I wasn't there last time. He was unsupervised, and
yeah, I was unsupervised exactly. And you can ask Nadia and Nelia Senchuk that yeah, they didn't believe me when I said I'm going to be at at Leaning Post by 5 o'clock. No, by 4 o'clock. That I was anyway. Okay.
There you go. All right.
So
tell me about these wines.
I have the wine behind me and the glasses in front of me. I have to say, at first glance, number 5, and I don't know which one is number 5 behind me yet. I poured it earlier and I have no idea which one is which at this time. But 5, 6, and 7 are fine.
Yeah, keep going. 5,
have a different level of complexity, that's for sure. Number 5 might be my 5 and 7 might be my very. I'm not gonna say 6, 7 anymore, but yeah, number 5 stands out to me.
Okay, me too. It's very well rounded.
And I said, I put here complex, very complex.
Jen. Oh, we've got lots of help, Carl, for next Tuesday. It might be at like 7 a.m., guys, if he's leaving to the airport at the time I think he is. So I don't think it's happening on Tuesday, but Carl knows better. Okay. But I think that's how you get a lot of people obsessed with your wines, is exactly what Thomas did. Make like 10 or more of each one from different parcels. Give us the craziest wine tasting of our lives when we visit the Bat Cave. And yeah, I'm really interested to see what paring down the selection looks like for Thomas in the next few years, but I can only imagine it'll just lead to better and better things. So Carl's getting excited. When he gets silent like that and does the whole thing like that in the mouth, yeah, he's getting excited.
1 minute.
Deep in thought. No, I mean, all I know is, I mean, I've lost track of the numbers. I'd have to taste them all again to tell you what I think, but they're all good. They're all really good. They're all really, really good. I don't know if you poured them at the same level, Carl, because I'm starting to
Okay,
tell which
since
ones are
when I don't pour the wine at the same level?
It's true. Mm.
Starting at 4, there's a little bit more length. The spice is starting to crank up, starting at number 4. 1, 2, and 3 are more on the fruit side.
Oh, but 2 has this like a little bit of funk.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely, absolutely. More of I would say a floral aspect, but more like the dirt, a little bit more dirt to it.
But I do see what you're saying. So did you pour these based on a scientific little system of yours, or was it random?
I pour them in a scientific Thomas Bachelder order.
East to west, or
From
what?
east to west, from east to west, and it
Really?
absolutely reflect. And look at the colors.
Okay.
6, 5, 6, 7.
6,
And
7.
man, it's just like it sounds every time I say 6, 7 now. And for everyone who are listening, we're parents of 3 kids. I coach the hockey team and baseball team. That meme of 6, 7 has been in every child's mouth around the world. We heard 6, 7 in Europe. It's in every child's mouth, that meme. If you haven't heard about
If
it,
you say 6, 7, they'll say 6, 7, and it's really
um,
annoying.
yeah. So Mira and I,
So I've done it to Carl. But
eh?
yeah, here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact. Guess what Carl and I were for Halloween?
6, 7. And kids on the street were losing their minds. 6, 7, 6, 7. So anyway, fun fact here. But 5, 6, and 7 have a distinctive color, Mira. I don't know if you have noticed.
No, I didn't. These are things you notice. I just drink the wine, but yes.
Oh,
Okay.
they're much more purple.
Are they?
1, 3, and 4 are a little bit more burgundy. 2 will resemble a little bit more at 5, but 6 and 7 are definitely very, very.
6 and 7 are the longest.
Yes, absolutely. And now that's the time for the reveal where 6, 7 are both Wismer Foxcroft. They're both Wismer Foxcroft. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay from Wismer Foxcroft over the years has been outrageously good.
Yeah. So number 5, which is an absolute revelation to me, it's called the G&H Wiley. Something completely new in Thomas' portfolio, and geez, that it's a great revelation. I really like. It started that difference, like the 5, 6, 7, are a little bit more in the same pattern, I would say. But 20 mile bench, 20 mile bench, obviously, for the two Foxcroft, which one is 100% D-stem grape, and one is the other one is number 6 is 12% whole cluster. Where we go with Wiley, it's 100% D-stem grape. But the colors are completely different. I would say probably, to me, these 3 are my highest rated. That's of the 4. And they are around the 93 points each. They're distinctively more complex than 1 to 4. So let's go all the way back to number 1. So surprisingly, we have 3 4 Mile Creek Gamay in this release. So yeah, there's 3 with Bijou, Kirby. Well, so that's mean there would be 4 because we don't have the little Kirby. So that would be 4 4 Mile Creek Appellation.
Big normal Kirby. We have the big normal Kirby.
We have the big normal Kirby, correct, Mira.
Which number was the normal Kirby? Which number?
Number 2.
2. Okay.
And number 3, it's Bachelder. Okay. Number 4.
So 1, 2, and 3 we said are more on the fruity side, more on the like easy drinking.
I think so. I think so.
So that's the Bator. That's the bigger Kirby.
And the Bijou.
And the Bijou. Okay.
The Bijou. Number 4 is from the St. David's bench.
Okay.
Where the very famous Lowry Vineyard Pinot Noir comes from.
Oh, but I'm tasting number 1 again. And it's just starting to open up.
Yeah, so far I have number 1.
Not like that half an hour ago. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, totally. It's starting to open up. I feel like Bijou needs a little bit more time than the others.
Daryl, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite out of these 7 because I am now like a little bit confused. So every time I think like which one's my favorite, I just taste them all again, and then I'm like,
well, I do have a not a favorite. I can't call it a favorite, but the highest rated is number 6 to me.
Okay, let's be systematic here. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Okay, so I'm gonna taste them.
And what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? There's no hockey. There's no nothing tonight, so we can stay on until I hit
children.
Until I hit 0 people on the stream. I'm staying on.
Okay, so let's be systematic, scientific, square here. So I'm gonna taste them 1 to 7. Okay, I will give my gut reaction as a normal wine lover that doesn't drink wine for a living like Carl does. And then Carl, you give your reaction and then tell us what it is. How's that?
Perfect. You go ahead.
So number 1, assuming this is a 1, this is what your 1s look like. They look a little bit like a 7.
Yeah.
Mine too. I'm European, you're Quebecois, the ones kind of look like.
If it's not deep purple and it looks like a 7 and it's not a 7, it's the 1.
So that's a 1. The 1, I gotta be honest, at first, when we first poured it was a little shorter on the finish than the others. It is now opening the heck up, and I really like it. So what is number 1, and what's your take on it, Carl?
So number 1, I totally have to agree with you. that this wine has improved the most in the entire lineup since we opened it.
Oh,
I
we're all
gave it
improving.
a 92 points, and this is the Bijou.
Okay.
I mean, Bijou was, I think, my highest rated Gamay previous to that. But yeah, 92.
Because Gamay, I gotta say, we're tasting 7 Gamays live right now. Gamay is one of those wines that is not that talked about. It's like the country cousin of Pinot Noir, right?
Absolutely. That's the Burgundy, right? That Burgundy Beaujolais. But never been, especially from here, from out west. It's never been something very popular. It's developing a lot in Niagara, and even here because the market is getting a little bit more warm in terms of reception for Gamay, and a little bit more people are looking at working with it. So yeah, number one.
Quick question for you. Oh yeah, go ahead. Number
Yeah.
one is the Bijou, 92 points at this point. We're gonna taste it again tomorrow. And Karen, if you're still listening, you might stop by. I hear would be fun.
Yeah, if you want to stop by with Jan, it will be great to taste these wines again later tonight.
Or tomorrow. Or
Or
tonight.
tomorrow. But tomorrow will be tomorrow. Is there any hockey tomorrow? No, there's no hockey. Do it tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the one was the Bijou. Carl's highest rated Gamay ever on a previous vintage, correct?
I think so. I mean, I think you will have to go on our Bachelder, if you don't mind, Carl's Wine Club / page / Bachelder. If you want to go back to our last offer, I believe that Bijou was the highest rated. Or maybe.
I'm telling you right now, pages / Bachelder. Bachelder. It's still there. Okay. So I see. Sorry, which one? The
Bijou.
The Chardonnays, the Pinot Noirs, the Gamays. The Bijou was 92 points. The 2021 was 92 points. Your highest
What about the 2022?
It's not on here, but I think it was. The 22, I think you gave it like 93 or 93 plus. The 22 Wismer Foxcroft Gamay, you gave 94 points to. Oh, thank goodness they're all out of stock. Sometimes, like, the out of stock, like, glitches, and then it becomes available for a second, and someone finds it. Always when it does that. And then they'll order something, and we'll have to track it down. We usually do, but
it's
anyway.
a pain in the ass, that's for sure.
Yeah, so if you want to see last year's Bachelors, I'm putting it in the comments.
So now I need your thought on number 2.
Right. So number 2. Yeah, Carl is slowly seeing the Gamay light. So yes, Carl did not believe in Gamay till about a year and a half ago. Really. Right, Carl?
Until I tasted Bijou 2021.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, okay, I warmed up, and I would say Wismer Foxcroft Gamay absolutely made me a believer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. So number 1 was the Bijou. And these are all 2023s now, right?
All 23s. All 23s.
And Mike, just so you know, Mike and Jen are having a Morgon. What the heck is
that? There you go, Morgon, which was one of the is one of the 7 Cru Gamay. So Morgon, Morgon, Brouilly. Man, it's my map of Beaujolais. So from Moulin Avant It's another
You
cru.
want me to research this? Do something. Okay, so
No,
Morgan,
yeah, Morgon, Moulin à Vent, Brouilly,
Beaujolais, Beaujolais.
Brouilly.
We're talking France. So Morgan is a prestigious Beaujolais
It's
cru,
one.
one of
Well,
10
Morgon
official
is one
crus.
of the with the most structured of all of the Beaujolais cru.
Mm. It's one of 10 official crus. Okay.
Yeah, and
And
it's
what
one.
there's
It's what it's one with the most structure to it. Okay, I need
yes,
you to give me
correct.
your opinion, your
Number
take on
two.
number two, so we can move on.
Number two. Okay, so number one was the Bijou. You gave it 92 points at this point. I agree, it's lovely. It really started to open up. Number two. I can crush any of these. This is the crazy thing. So, number two is a lot more like meaty. It's like more meaty, and it's got a bit of funk to it, doesn't it? So, what's number two, Carl? Or you tell me, what do you think of number two?
So what I have with number two, I have meaty, earthy, floral, but good with good length. I gave it 90 plus,
Okay.
and this is the Kirby.
Okay. There you go.
12 with 45% whole cluster. That's the big Kirby. That's the one I have here.
The big Kirby, right. And we're missing what he calls Little Kirby.
Yeah.
Little Kirby from the east parcel of Kirby Vineyard. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's the second wine. The third one. Any more words, parting words about the second wine there, Carl?
No, I mean good length. Yeah, meaty, earthy, floral. It's a little departure from what Bijou is. Bijou is a little rounder, fruitier, so different. Very different actually for a 4 Mile Creek wine. Even in the color, there's a different color. It's more purple, a little bit more bench than 4 Mile Creek look and taste.
Hey, I see that Thomas Bachelder himself has just joined us on Instagram. So if that's true, cheers, Thomas. We're really enjoying your Gamays. A lot. I am. I am. So that was number two. Yeah. Carl is so serious right now. He is just so smitten. Aren't you, Carl?
Okay, number three. What do you think, Mira? You're up.
Gosh, these all remind me a lot of some kind of like very nice cherry kind of candy of some sort, like on the nose. Mm, wow. Yeah, I love number three too. See, my reactions are not that interesting because with these ones, it's all like, I love it. I love it. I love it. You tell us, Carl. What do you think?
So for me, number three, I make a big bold capital. I wrote finesse. To me, number three, it's a gamay of finesse. It would be if I compare to the Beaujolais, I would say it's like Moulin à Vent. It's beautiful. It's elegant. It's finesse. It's on the length more than on the structure. Uh, it's lighter. It's softer. So I mean, it's like watching my wife walking and then like her hair in the wind, and it's super sexy and elegant and all finesse, just like that, just like that. This is a
That
wine
makes
to make me smile because it's not uberly in my face. It's really nice, soft. Yeah, finesse and elegance. I like the edge definition, and There's not too much earthiness. It's on raspberry, a little bit of cranberry, bright acid, but there's also that classic oak spice type is which like cardamom, cinnamon, clove, white pepper, that lingering finish, like really well evolving. So that's my take on number 3, which is the Vieille Vigne Bâtard.
Bator. Okay.
Okay.
So you poured these the same in each cup, and right now the Bator has like half of what every other glass has. So
Yeah.
far that's my favorite.
I'm
That's
at
how I can tell.
92 plus with Bâtard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Yeah, it's a
love
good
it.
one.
I love it. It's my favorite of the Formal Creek on that release. Definitely.
Awesome. So there's some wine speak you need to translate for me here, Carl, on Instagram. Other Struggles says Chana, Fleury. What is this? Gamays? What is this?
Yeah, these are all Gamay. They're all Beaujolais Cru.
Okay, so cru meaning the higher end wines
Well,
in
the
Beaujolais, which
Gamay
is in
Cru
France.
are like the appellations, but the one who's made it to the 10 top, who makes the Beaujolais terroir map. There's 10 cru, or let's put it that way, 10 sub appellation in the Beaujolais. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So that was number 3. That's the one that so far is my favorite, the Bator. Okay, number 4. 4, right here in front of me. Oh, it's so exciting because these wines, I mean, we opened them an hour and a half, almost 2 hours ago now. Really opening up now. So that gives you an idea. If you are going to taste these wines, let them breathe for a couple hours or decant them. And Ovino them. And Ovino's our little favorite wine tool. You stick it in your wine and in the wine bottle, and it kind of filters, aerates as it pours out. Tell me, Carl. Look how serious he is. So, Daryl, you say Thomas's release needs a finance plan. AI has run amok with our club the last couple months. AI has put some kind of financing option on our Shopify store. I
I
need to
know.
figure out how to take it off, but if you want, you actually literally can finance these wines right now. Whatever, but yeah, it's kind of funny you say that.
Now we're looking. What did you say for yourself, Mira, number 4?
What did I say for myself? Nothing so far other than I love the nose. Here, let me taste it again for like the 5th time. Gosh. Um, that's maybe the smoothest one so far out of the 4 tasted so far. I really like it. What's your take, Carl?
We're kicking up a notch here. This is a wine with more structure. There's more backbone. The acidity is higher. The fruits are a little darker. We go from little berry, especially tasted beside number 3, which was Bator. So this one at number 4, which is Warner York from the St. David's bench. So we go from Formal Creek to St. David's Bench, and there's more structure. This is noticeable. The color is a little bit more purple. Not as much as the 20-mile bench or the Short Hill, but we're getting a little bit darker. It's a little bit more on black raspberry. This is a little bit of maybe a little bit blueberry in there. Definitely the complexity past the mid palate, we're getting something more serious here. Yeah, structure, complexity, a little bit darker fruit, not that much, but still
All right, so this is 4. So what is the wine? What is 4?
Werner York. I said it.
What's it called?
Werner York.
Werner York. So this is new. Is this new for Thomas?
Uh, we haven't tasted it before, but it was not on our feature before. But Werner York, I believe that is a part of this portfolio for a little
Okay.
while now.
Okay.
It's not
So
just like Bator, right? Bator has been in the portfolio. I don't think we haven't featured it in the past.
okay. So what vintage is the Bator?
All
These are all 23?
2023.
All of them.
All of
God, I
them.
missed the note.
Jesus Christ,
Okay.
that's nothing new. We
So
mentioned it at the beginning.
here is the important thing to know about that Bator, which at present, I swear, this is the Bator. It's the one I've drank the most of. Okay. So that's the Mira scale. Daryl is giving us some really important information. Bator Vineyard got rid of its Gamay vines along with its other grape varieties. Following a hard winter in 2022, the Bator family harvested one final vintage in 2023. So
That
Mike
was my
aptly points out that we are drinking the last of the Bator Gamay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, Bator, I have to tell you, we're privileged that Thomas has that for us. And I definitely can say that it's going to be part because I have to choose only 3 of them for the feature, right?
That's the
So,
challenge here. Oh, shoot. Okay.
what?
Of course, we take special requests, but so we have to pick 3?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean with the Wismar Foxcroft, I mean this definitely makes it again. There's no doubt that Wismar Foxcroft goes into it. So there's only 2 left. So we do
I
back.
think the Bator has to if it's the last of it. If
Well,
they
I
still have
mean,
some
there's
left.
something very special, right? So very special, and you can taste it.
Telling me
It's
that
finesse. So
the
now
left
we're
won't
talking about
lie.
Werner.
So
I know.
okay, so where if we put these together,
Okay,
okay.
with that, there's the village. So you put the village in. There's only 2. So
Okay.
we're
So there's
gonna
only
face some
one, you
big
mean?
dilemma, but that's why we've paid the big bucks to make these decisions. So we might add one as a bonus option because obviously I'm gonna have 1 or 2 Chardonnay as a bonus option, and we'll
It's
see.
really
We'll see what
impossible to
happened
pick
with the
that
Gamays. But
pure.
Werner York is really freaking interesting. I love that wine a lot. Okay,
Which one?
Werner York, the number 4.
Werner York. Number 4. Okay, yeah, I did like that one a lot too. You can tell because gosh, I wish you guys could see the levels. There needs to be like a camera on the levels. So the one I've drank the most is the Bator, followed by the Werner York. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but
Bator and Werner York are really different, especially tasted side by side.
yes,
I'm giving them the same score, 92 plus on both. They're very different, but hit the spot at the same level. So here we go. Now we move on number 5. Okay,
you're right.
Mira, I
You're
want to
very
know
different.
your opinion on
Very
number
good.
5.
5 behind the thumb. I see. Number 5. Cool. It's fascinating because these all hit different parts of your tongue. They're all, like the Werner what, Carl?
Werner York.
Werner York, more on the back of the tongue. This one, number 5, a little more on the forward part, a little more on the tip of your tongue. Very good. What's your take?
Interesting. So what I have, this is the more meaty of all.
Meaty.
Really meaty. Lots of blueberry. There's nice fruit, but like lots of like not necessarily like brisket type smoked meat, but more of the raw type of beef, almost
I
like
was
beef
gonna
tartare.
I was gonna say with the last few, I did get some of those smoky notes, and I'm so glad this is not a wine from BC because we wouldn't be allowed to say that if it was from BC. Everyone would be like, "Oh my God, it's from Smoke Taint," but
Yeah,
it's
no, no,
not.
no. This
It's
is more
Ontario.
like
They
a
don't have
beef
smoke.
tartare type of meaty component. Super
Yeah,
complex. There's a tone of earthiness, a tone of floridity, but the
it's
blueberry
darker. I feel like.
component rounded out. Um, I mean, this is serious. Like this is a serious Gamay. I going to 92 point as well. Um, I can't wait to see some of these like taking the next step or the next level. Number 5 is the G&H Wiley. So the Wiley Gamay, it's from the Short Hill appellation. So that might be the first or the second year of Wiley in the Gamay portfolio, which I think it's a very great representation. There's almost that little bit of iodine, that little iron component.
Yeah, that meatiness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Short Hills is where in Niagara? Trying to find my Niagara map. I mean, Niagara. There we go.
So Short Hill, you have some lots of 13th Street wines are coming from Short Hill.
Ah, I see it in the kind of middle there, that light green, near
Got
the
it.
20-mile bench, which is a big, like we're loving the 20-mile bench Chardonnays for sure. So it's right near there.
Yeah, so that's from number 5. I like the Lang too with pulsing. There's the definitely iron, iodine, meaty component, but there's also almost like blackberry and blueberry fruit component. So
Mm.
different as well. I mean,
If
you
I
could,
tell you it's darker and it feels a little darker, I mean, then it probably is true.
yeah. And now
There's
in the
another
last
level.
two, when you look at them, I mean, these are twin brothers. These are the two Wismer Foxcroft.
So that was 5. We have 2 more to go. 2 more.
Two
And then
more
we've
to
got to
go. Number
start closing.
7 definitely has the most floral and earthy note. Number 6.
I feel like we're getting darker as we
Oh
go.
yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. And I think the lighter in color is definitely Bator. Number 3 is definitely the lighter in color. And now we're at the darkest level. Definitely at the darkest, dark purple, like it's more purple. I would say number 7 is the most expressive. Very earthy and floral.
Geez, they're both really good. They're the most bold of the 7, I think. You are so cute and nerdy when you taste these wines. Very nice. Dead serious. Look at him. Oh, there's also
So
this saltiness. Mm.
bang on, bang on. with the finish and the salt. Absolutely bang on, Mira. To me, number 6 has the most complexity, most structure. There's a mix of dark fruit and dirt and meatiness. Number 6 have pretty much everything you can expect. You put all of the component of Gamay, and they all have it in it. Like, I mean, number 3 has elegance. Number 1 has fruit. So I mean, Bijou is fruity. They all have a little something. And you go to number 5, it's more meaty. Number 6 has everything. He had that little irony, like the iron level, it has it, but not too much, just a hint. The back palate evolves dramatically. Like it's like an opera. It's like it goes dramatic in the back end. There's so much change and so much evolution from the mid palette to the end. The complexity is absolutely off the chart. Off the chart. And it's a little bit more compact. Number 7 has lots of earthy and floral note. But on the palate, there's a little bit more fruit. Definitely lighter fruit, not as dense, not as powerful. There's a little bit more elegance in number 7. I would go 94 for number 6, which is Wismer Foxcroft, the 32% whole cluster. And 93 for Wismer.
Sorry, how much for the Wismer Foxcroft?
94. 94 for number 6, which Wismer Foxcroft, 32% whole cluster. Number 7 is also Wismer Foxcroft, but 100% the D-stem fruit.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense a lot when you taste them, that number 7, the 100% D-stem, is more elegant. It doesn't have the stems, right? It doesn't have that more outside of the berries type of material, in the sense that there's more tannin in the number 6. Definitely bolder, more but 7 is more expressive, more elegant, but the same type of complexity, and they completely meet at the finish point with the same salinity and the same type of length. 94 and 93 for 6 and 7.
So you're saying 94 for the 32% whole cluster, and
you got that right.
93 for the D-stemmed.
You got it.
So you like your little bit of personality that the stems bring.
I do, which to me reflects in more complexity.
Okay.
The tannins are hanging there. There's a little bit more.
Stacy and Jeff, if there's 2 people that were going to do 6-7 and really piss off their kids, I feel like it would be you guys. You should send a video of that to your kids. I think they would love it. They can't wait to try 6-7, Carl. Who doesn't love a little personality in their guest? I agree, right? So now we found our 6-7 of wine. I mean, this wine.
Number 6 is spectacular.
And 7 too. 6-7. All right. So give me a quick rundown. One was the Bijou, 92 points.
Bijou number one, 92 points. Fruity, layered, approachable, but really for my Creek. Number two. Number two is the Kirby. Kirby, 45% whole cluster. I give it a 90 plus. There's a good link. It's a mix of meatiness, earthiness, florality. There's a nice progression. 90 plus. Number three was Bachelder. 30% whole cluster. I give it a 92 plus, which is a little lighter, softer, elegant.
Sorry, 92 plus for the Bator?
Is it not what I said?
I'm asking you. I just can't type that fast. 92 plus what?
92 plus for the Bator. Elegance and elegant finesse. Bator is very different of all of them. I really, it stands out to me for elegance and finesse. Number four, we went to Werner York, a 92 point, a little darker, more structured. That's the start of the bolder type with a little bit more black fruit, but also a mix of red fruit. So this one is in the middle with Werner York. I would say this versatile. It's very versatile in terms of delivery. So 92. Number five is our G&H Wiley from Short Hill Appellation. I like this.
The letter G and H. G and
Yeah,
H.
I think so. I think so.
Okay. From the what?
Short Hill Appellation. Look.
Short Hills Appellation. Okay. Okay. Tell me more.
Yeah, G&H.
Yes.
Short Hill Appellation. That's where meaty, irony, iodine, much more serious in terms of structure, super complex. I give it a 92 plus. And 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Are the two Wismer Foxcroft. 6 is the 32% whole cluster, which is the rock star of that selection. Absolute rock star, 94 points. It's structured.
Rated Gamay, I'm pretty sure, unless that Bijou was 94. We'll have to look it up.
I don't think I ever rated the Gamay 94. That might have been Foxcroft 22, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'll look it up. So, what's with the 94? Tell me quick.
Structure, complex, saline on the finish. That's where black fruit enter the spectrum here. There's a little bit more of the backbone, the tannin, the stickiness, the little bit of smokiness as well, and the finish just lingers and lingers and lingers. When that classic Gamay spice on the finish absolutely stands out. The Wismer Foxcroft 100% D-stem, so number 7 has some similarity,
Carl
but
likes the funkiness. Carl likes the authenticity. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, so the last one has a little bit more floral and earthiness on the palate, but a little bit more fruity more floral and earthiness on the nose, but a little bit more fruity on the palate. It's like number 6. So the 32%, but more elegant and with more finesse. The 32% whole cluster is more masculine. The 100% D stem is more feminine. They really connect together on the finish with the similar style finish, same salinity. but more elegance on the 7. I really like number 6. It's my standout.
Well, that was a heck of a comment. Okay, so Daryl had to Google 6, 7. Clearly, his children are older. Uh, because if they weren't, you would be going crazy. So, yeah. Now you know about 6, 7. It's a good thing to know. I mean, it might come up in conversation, and now you know. So Stacy and Jeff can't wait to try 6, 7. Who doesn't like a little personality in their Gamay, says Mike. Got to Google the 6, 7, and I gave you a heck of a comment. Had to be split up into multiple comments with all of Carl's notes. But Carl, now I'm going to email that to you. Now you have your notes, even if you lose your notepad. Ha ha ha. All right, what's
You
next?
are
We
not
gotta go.
funny. So yeah, what a tasting! I really appreciate that. I love doing that. It gets me
Fun.
in my geeky mode. It gets me in my a little bit more cerebral mode. I greatly enjoy that. Thank you, Thomas, for providing those samples. We are excited for next week. We're going to be featuring 3 of them somehow in our pack. And I know that we have Chardonnays and Pinots on the road right now, on the way to the office. And we'll do the same with the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay. So buckle your seatbelt, you guys. We are up for an incredible treat next week. I mean, this is Carl's Wine Club best stretch ever. Come on. Tightrope. We have Benjamin Bridge this week, and now we're moving on into Bachelder next week.
It'd be pretty hard to top that. I don't envy whoever has to come next. When do we find out what's in the upcoming Bachelor feature, Carl?
Well, there's a few classic that I can tell you that are going to be in. It's the probably my number 2 top 2 wine of the year after the 2008 Brut Reserve from Benjamin Bridge. I have a feeling that Wismer Foxcroft Chardonnay, I gave it 96 points when I tasted with Thomas this summer. Before I tasted the Brut, it was my number 1 wine of the year, according to my scores. And the Brut top it up from Benjamin Bridge, but I have the feeling that it's number 2 right there. It's going to be in the pack. Wismer Wingfield, Hill of Wingfield, the wine that we feature at the Burgundy Canada Showdown, will be in the pack, I believe, in a bonus option.
We don't have too many of those.
Yeah, and I know it's funny because I was looking at Rick Vansicle's scores coming, and Rick is not a big Wismer Foxcroft Barcelona guy. Every year he rates Wingfield higher. He rates Grimsby Hillside higher. It's funny how our tastes are different. For me, Foxcroft tops these wines almost every year. And but yeah, I think that the Red Clay Barn will be in the pack. I really liked Mio. We put Mio Chard in our Advent calendar 2022 last year. And when I tasted with Thomas, many times I was coming back to Mio. Not the most complex wine of all, but it has such a nice personality. So I know that Mio's coming as a sample. The Hill of Wingfield, which I think Werner York as well has Chardonnay, so I can't wait. I know I tasted it, but I'm not sure exactly how I rated it. Red Clay Barnes coming as a sample as well. I know I liked it a lot. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my hand on the Frontière Block from Grimsby Hillside, there's the quantity are just too small, so we can get it. But Red Clay Barn is also a single block of Grimsby Hillside and rated fairly high in Rick Vansicle's rating and also on Christopher Waters' rating. So when they did their own tasting last weekend. So I'm going to review these wines over this weekend, and on Monday, you're going to have a better idea. In terms of Pinot, unfortunately, Hank is not available. I think we're going to have access to Wild West and old. My very favorite was the Old Eastern Bloc. Was my very favorite at 95 plus, I believe, was my top rated Pinot Noir from my tasting with Thomas. And I also believe that Christopher Waters and Rick Vancicle was their top wine rated as well. So you can definitely expect Old Eastern Bloc in the lineup. Mira, if you have access to my email right now, Mary sent me a confirmation with which samples are on the way. So that could be a little helpful here to answer Mike.
I will tell you right now what samples are on the way. Arriving tomorrow, I think.
Not tomorrow, Friday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. So I have Chardonnay. 23 Wismar Foxcroft Chardonnay, Parcelle Nord.
Mm-hmm.
I have 23 Hill of Wingfield Chardonnay, Wismar Wingfield Vineyard.
Yeah, so that's Wingfield was the one at the Burgundy Showdown, and Wismar Foxcroft is my number 2 wine of the year.
Okay, 23 Village Chardonnay.
Yes, we're going to have the village of each. The 3 village are going to be, I want to do a 3-pack of Les Villages.
I think he makes more than one village for each
I know,
varietal.
we'll see which one he sends.
Okay. Werner York Chardonnay 23. Red Clay Barn Block 23.
Which is, they're all 23, Mira.
Oh, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Gamay, they're all 23.
Everything is 23, yes.
Keep up with the times. Okay, Pinot Noir. We have the Old Eastern Bloc, 84, 88 Cuvée, Lowry Vineyard. Wow. Lowry's like an old school.
Yeah, that's the last of this St. David's bench.
Wow. We also have the Wismar Park Pinot Noir, the Village Pinot Noir. Obviously, we see which one. The Spencer Morgan Pinot Noir.
Yeah, I remember tasting that. I requested this one because I never featured it, the Spencer Morgan, and I'm really excited. It was tasting very, very well when I tasted that with Thomas this summer.
Nice. And we also have for Pinot Noir the Wild West End Wismar Park, which we have tasted. We have tasted here. Look at this. So we showed this earlier, but this is the Wismar Park Wild West End. So that was your 94 plus point last time we featured. And the Village Gamay, which we haven't tasted today.
Yeah, there's a few additions that we did, Mary and I, on the last email. We have a few additions to complement that. But yeah, so keep in mind, they're not all going to be on the feature because I don't have room to feature 18 wines. But I'm expecting to be around 10 wines on the feature. So yeah, coming up next week. So while we are all geeking out, dreaming about Bachelder, don't forget the very freaking best sparkling wine, traditional method in Canada are now up. Hey?
Totally. Benjamin Bridge, available till Monday morning. Ben M. asked on Instagram and I missed it. We're gonna have to send him an
Probably
email.
Ben
Remember,
Mingo.
so well, yeah, we have his contact, so we'll send you a note, Ben, if you're not on anymore. But Ben is asking, is the 2008 Benjamin Bridge, which you gave 96 plus points to, is it similar to Cristal? What's the is it similar? Is it not? What's the difference there?
Well, to me, it's up in a sense that there's a personality of Nova Scotia with such a bright acid, but incredible salinity that you don't find in Cristal. I mean, Cristal is an international classic, like definitely a great house champagne from over the years. If you ask me, for a third of the price, I'm taking the '08 Reserve Brut every day of the year. There's that nice, beautiful finesse in that Benjamin Bridge '08 Reserve, but filled with tension and energy. I don't think that Cristal has the same finesse, has the same softness in the mousse and definitely not the salinity. There's that classic toastiness of like croissant and almond cookie that is very present in Cristal, who is much more subtle. Subtle in the Benjamin Bridge. That's why I like that. I'm not a super fan of that idolytic type of component. I'm not a super toasty guy when it's term of champagne. That's why I prefer the '08 Brut. And you know what? I will take Jeff Lobano example. As an accountant, a third of a price, I will take that wine every time.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, it's been fun, you guys. Um, this one has almost no wine left, and it is it's number 3. What was number 3, Carl?
That's Bator.
Vator. And that is the one that is the last vintage ever because they pulled their vines from the ground.
Exactly.
So I think that has to be in the feature. I don't
It
know.
has to be. Has to be.
We're
Homage
excited.
à Bator. Homage à Bator.
We could just run only on Gamays, but I think we do have to include the Chardonnays and the Pinot Noirs.
I think so. I think so. Okay, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher. You guys will see you next time.
Cheers.